Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
It's all in season, right around the time of that year where something anymore just seems to happen. And there were things trending this past week with AEW that I do want to address. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. It's after Raw on Monday night. Normally I would be going to bed, but I do want to get caught up on some news and whatnot. This is the last thing I want to get caught up with tonight. And of course, we will get back to more things this coming Wednesday night, hopefully. But I'm here to talk about a couple topics with All Elite Wrestling. Now, I'm not going to deny it. I definitely have itched at times to maybe bring back the Dynamite reviews. I just still don't think it's time yet right now. I don't. I mean, the build to All In has my interest. I am going to do a preview video for All In. And I will do a video. I don't know if I'll do it live, but I will do a review of AEW All In 2024. Maybe even live react to the main event, Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland, where if Bryan loses, it will be the final match of his career. I feel like if it is, I have to do live reactions for it. I have to do it, I feel. So there is some AEW content coming to the channel. But this past week, there were two things that happened. The first thing that happened, I was just going to do a brief little short on it. But then the second thing happened, I'm like, okay, I got to do an actual video on these two topics. So we're going to talk about both of them. The first one has to do with a photo that was leaked on the internet this past week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night it was posted. It was a photo of Tony Khan and Shane McMahon having a private meeting amidst rumors of Shane McMahon possibly going to AEW. Now, there was a statement that Bully Ray said in his Busted Open podcast just a day or two later that he had talked to Shane McMahon. And this is what Shane McMahon told him. Shane said that Tony and I were connected through a mutual friend and we had a great meeting. We talked about many things, but mostly about our shared love for the business and the rewards and challenges of working with family. I congratulated him on the 5-year anniversary of AEW and look forward to how he evolves business moving forward. And also, Bully said he warned that he's known Shane for many years. Shane is entirely capable of keeping a secret. While it may sound on the surface as though it was a casual conversation, Bully Ray was not convinced. He believes there's things going on. That's what came from Wrestling Inc. So that broke the internet because, let's be real, a McMahon going to AEW is big news. Because, again, McMahon has been written all over WWE for many years. Since the beginning of his existence, pretty much. The name McMahon has always been on it. Shane, though, is the one that did leave the company in 2009, 2010, one of the two, to proceed his own business paths, as he felt that him staying would have hurt the relationship between him and his father. Now, of course, we all know what has happened to his father since and how Stephanie McMahon had left the company once, it was obvious that she just didn't want to deal with her father anymore. Because, the moment he was gone, she was named co-CEO with Nick Khan. But in the moment he comes back, she's gone. And she has given some appearances. Like, they just showed her at SummerSlam on Saturday night. Triple H confirmed that she currently does not hold a position with the company, but we all know that she loves it. And again, coming from somebody who hated Stephanie McMahon when I first started watching wrestling, it's crazy to believe years later, when of course I understand the business more, how I actually am happy when I see her and just keep hoping that she does in fact come back and be able to run business the way she wants to without her father in her ear. Shane, though. Shane went off to WCW. Shane has definitely done a lot more things on his own terms. Shane has kind of developed his own entity. And also, keep this in mind, Shane McMahon has only been on TV when his father's around. Because last time we saw Shane McMahon was at WrestleMania 39 last year when he came out for an impromptu match against The Miz. And that, unfortunately, is where he tore his quad. And Snoop Dogg had to step in and did that atrocious people's elbow. And we hadn't seen him since on TV. When I saw that he was meeting with AEW, I remembered a comment he meant. I think it was on a podcast with Mick Foley. It was maybe about not even a year after he came back in 2016. And he was asked about Triple H. And really one of the only things Shane said was, he makes my sister happy. Kind of gave you that inkling that him and Triple H aren't really the best of buds. Which, if that's the case, it doesn't surprise me that he has not been on TV whenever Triple H has hold of the script. When Vince does, Shane's in there. Because before then, the last time we heard about Shane was when he appeared in the 2022 Royal Rumble. And he got fired shortly after because of how bad of a job he did writing the Royal Rumble and how he was trying to make it all about him. He wanted to set up a feud with him and Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. That was Seth's original plans before it was the returning Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38. And then again, he didn't appear again until, who was around again? Daddy. So this idea that of Shane going to AEW, if he wants to stay in the wrestling business, doesn't surprise me. Knowing the fact that Daddy's not around anymore and Shane doesn't really get along well with Triple H. So if he does go to AEW, I wouldn't be surprised. However, let's be 100% honest here. I've always liked Shane. But at this point, he's 54, 55, somewhere in there? Honest question. What can Shane really contribute to AEW at this point? I feel like maybe more so of a business side is where he may be able to contribute more. As far as writing goes, I don't know. Especially after what happened with the 2022 Royal Rumble. But that may have been him again just getting a little into his head or whatnot. He could, I think if Shane McMahon comes to AEW, it should be more of a business backstage personnel role than an on-screen character. Because let's be honest, maybe except for MJF, who is there in AEW that you would like to see Shane McMahon have a match with? Nobody really, right? Like I said, MJF maybe, but other than that, who else? I think that him joining AEW could make a difference. Again, Tony Khan just needs to stop doing everything on his own. He has proven for the past 2 years he can't do it. He's just cracking under the pressure. And the more weaknesses that get exposed, the more that AEW is going to fall. Even though Tony does not seem to care. He thinks everything is okay. But it's not okay. You know, it's like still on like a teeter-totter. You get times right now where, you know, things are better, not anywhere close to it was in like 2021 when I think AEW was at its hottest. But again, how would Shane McMahon contribute to all that? Would Tony Khan like maybe like go into like I co-own the business? I don't know. But I just wonder again, it would be interesting to see Shane go to AEW because again, it's a McMahon going to the competition. But again, how much do you really think Shane McMahon will contribute? I again still think he should just stick to having just like a backstage role or behind the scenes role. And nothing about like, I mean, yes, occasionally he can appear, throw a jab, do the coast to coast, but as far as like matches go, I really don't feel any matches for Shane in AEW. But you never know. They can find something to get him to do it. I'm pretty sure if he would go to AEW, he'd want to be in part of one pay-per-view at least. It's very possible. But we'll just have to wait and see. But there's that piece of news. Then the second piece of news, what made me want to do an actual video, not a short, is that one of Tony Khan's favorites got a suspension. And that is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who just returned from a lengthy absence. And apparently she almost suffered an actual stroke. She had like a TIA, had like a little like mini stroke or whatnot. So the fact she's here is awesome. However, though, and we've heard her, you know, do stuff like her and Thunder Rosa didn't get along. She has apparently gossiped about other girls in the back too. But this doesn't involve just girls. Britt Baker was suspended after on the July 17th, the 250th episode of Dynamite. She apparently had a backstage altercation with MJF and MJF's real-life girlfriend, the interview queen, who is now signed with AEW, Alicia Atout. Now, what I read reports is apparently Britt Baker and MJF used to both be pretty good friends, but they had a falling out last year. And things happened during the hour-long match between Britt and Will for the International Championship. And apparently Britt was talking crap on MJF. And Alicia Atout overheard this, and she went and told MJF, and Max got mad, and he actually, of course, punched the wall out of anger. And that basically, I don't know, they didn't go into details of like what all happened, if like there was any fists thrown or whatnot besides getting MJF punching the wall. I feel like something physical happened if Britt actually for real got suspended. The suspension apparently was for 2 weeks and she was fined. But of course that's 2 weeks. That means that she should be back this coming week or next week. As of right now, she is still going to be wrestling Mercedes Mone at All In. Will Ospreay also apparently confronted Britt Baker and, you know, just told her, hey, you can't do this. And then of course, again, you know, a fight broke out as well between Alicia Atout and Britt Baker. As, again, Britt was upset that she got tattled on. Ah, man. So drama again continues. Look, I remember, I feel like it was Britt, but some women's wrestler in AEW, I remember one time, was posting stuff about how they don't feel the women get enough TV time. I'm wondering if that had something to do with this, especially because if Britt was complaining about MJF getting an hour-long match on Dynamite, taking over tons of TV time than over the women's. So there could have been some animosity there. And heck, that could have also been the reason why Britt and Max had their falling out. But, again, the fact also that Tony Khan suspended someone that he definitely is very high regarding and reliable on is something big. But of course, will he comment on it? Who knows? He'll probably try to change the subject and whatnot and then just look like a fool afterwards. But yeah, I mean, if Britt in fact was running her mouth, but again, I feel like there had to have been something more if she not only got fined but actually got suspended. There could be a little more to the story, who knows? We all know that they have had a habit at times of trying to cover some things up and whatnot. But what do I know, basically? But I feel like, it was appropriate to suspend Britt. Someone who, again, kind of seems like, again, I don't know Britt personally. She's awesome in the ring. But as a person, she seems like someone who likes to start up some gossip. And it's going to lead to some problems down the line if Tony Khan just doesn't step in and says, whoever causes the next, drama scene, you're going to be in big trouble. But of course, he'll probably sit there going, nah, everything's fine. But yeah, again, shocked to see they actually gave a suspension to one of Tony's favorites. Of course, if again, this is a more like a lenient suspension and not like, like a 30-day one like, Sammy Guevara's had once or twice or whatnot. But we'll see. We'll see, of course, what happens when Britt comes back. Will she, of course, behave herself? You guys' thoughts getting down in the comment section below about that and the possibilities of Shane McMahon going to AEW. What do you guys think he will contribute if he does, in fact, go to AEW? And again, leave your thoughts also about Britt Baker's suspension as well. Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, the Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993 again. I'll be up again probably in the next couple weeks to do an All-In preview video, and also I will do a review of All-In. If it's going to be live or not, I don't know yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But until then, guys, I'll check it out. I'll catch you guys all later, and do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself, and that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!